If you and your teammates are not on the same page, a game of Rocket League can quickly become a complete disaster. This is why it is so important for players to master the arts of communication. And today, we discuss the keys that will help you do just that. Communication is one of the biggest keys to success in Rocket League, and yet it is not something that is discussed all that much. Now, some of you may be saying, what do you mean communication? Most players don't use voice chat, so outside of quick chat, how are players supposed to communicate with each other? The answer actually has nothing to do with words, but everything to do with the position and movement of your own car and how you read the position and movement of your teammates' cars. Without the ability to do these things properly, it will be impossible for you and your teammates to remain on the same page. The biggest key to communication in Rocket League is understanding what your car is telling your teammates and what your teammates' cars are telling you. This all comes down to a few simple things. Where is the car on the field? Where is the car facing? What speed is the car going at? What state is the car in? Is it flipping? Is it using boost? Is it just driving on all four wheels? Understanding these things will help you determine what your teammates are doing, and in turn will help you decide what you need to do. The faster this exchange of information can occur, the smoother the game will become. Looking at some examples now, we're going to learn how our teammates' car movements communicate to us what they're going to do, and in turn tell us what we should be doing. So starting out with this example here, we can see EM is kind of floating out of the play. Looks like he might be trying to boost back down to the ground, but doesn't look like he's really going to be able to catch up to this ball. We can see our one teammate Preston is driving off in this direction, off the screen, and is theoretically rotating back around. Risiko is driving quite slowly here and driving towards the ball, so based on that we can assume that this is going to be a catch on this ball as it's landing and a dribble forward. So using that information, we're going to have Risiko catch this ball, he's going to start moving this way, and we're going to move out of net to be able to support him in the midfield as he launches a counterattack into the offensive half. So rolling forward here, we can see Risiko makes this catch. Now Lepid coming in for the challenge. Risiko is going to pop this ball over the top, gets it over him, and now this is where we really need to look at what Riss is doing. So as we can see, Risiko has landed but is still full boosting forward. The ball is kind of hovering in the air. With Risiko moving at this speed in this direction, it doesn't really look like he's trying to maintain control of this ball anymore. So okay, what else could he be doing? Well, if he's full speeding down the field this way, it looks like he might be targeting the last man back on the opposing team to create an avenue for teammates behind him to be able to score. So using that information, we're going to let him run ahead. Now we're going to take over this ball as Risiko goes for the bump. Risiko forces the defender back and allows us to chip the ball over the top, and into the net it goes. So by looking at the speed Risiko was going and what direction he was going in, we were able to determine exactly what play he was going for without him needing to say a thing, and we were able to capitalize on a great offensive opportunity. Looking at another simple example here, we've just cleared this ball over to the corner over this way, and we are traveling back into our own net where we'll have to recover and get ready to come back out to play the ball once again. As we're kind of in this recovery process, we're going to see our teammate Preston coming back into the corner. Now what he does will determine what our next move will be. Because for example, he could do a couple of things. Number one, he could pick up this boost, wheel around, and immediately challenge the ball again. In which case, we would be told to pretty much go out in the midfield again to be a support player. Or he could pick up this boost and rotate onto the backboard or onto the back line like this, and kind of slow down and just wait to see what happens. In that situation, we would then take the initiative to go out and challenge the ball as quickly as we possibly can. So we need to kind of figure out what he's doing so we know what we need to do. So as we play this forward, we'll see he picks up the boost and now he drives up the wall, and we can see he's slowing down and he's not really doing anything else. So with that in mind, we're going to go ahead and push out here to challenge this ball. Just put in a challenge on EM, and get the clear back downfield. Again, a very simple situation, but our teammate's positioning and speed shows us that he is not intending to challenge the ball, in which case it becomes the responsibility of the next man in rotation, which in this situation was ourselves, to challenge the ball. And this is where we see the importance of being able to understand what our teammates are telling us as quickly as possible. Because we were a little slow to read exactly what was going on, our challenge was also slow and we gave the opponent more free space in the midfield than we'd really like to. So that showcases how important it is to understand the communication quickly so we can make our next move as fast as possible. Moving on now, we're actually going to take a look at an example of some bad communication and how it can create awkward situations. So in the situation right here, we've just lofted this ball towards the net. The defense is not going to have any problem with it. They'll be able to jump up and make the save. But you can see here that Preston is cutting across the field like this, picking up this boost, and looks like he's going to be steaming across the net. We are facing backwards, and our third player is off the screen over here. So with our current situation of facing backwards and turning around, it should be the job of the next man in rotation to come in as we rotate ourselves out. And this is where it is extremely important to consider what you are showing to your teammates. Because if you show them one thing and then do something else, you've now confused them and created a situation where you have two players going for the same ball. And that's exactly what we'll see here. So we start to turn around, but then we come back into the play, and as you can see, Risiko is also working himself in, and now we have a full-scale double commit, leaving Preston back in a situation all by himself. And if we look at this from Risiko's perspective, we can see where this really becomes a problem. Because he's going full speed here, charging on forward, and as he looks to his right, he sees me facing backwards. So in his mind, he's like, okay, cool, teammate leaving, I go in. But in this situation, as he moves forward, we'll see that just as I'm heading off his screen, I'm turning around. But it's so out to the side that that's almost impossible for Risiko to see, so he's already come into the play, and now we have a double commit. So once you kind of commit to doing something where you're driving in one direction, you really don't want to throw your teammates off by whipping around quickly and doing something else. They are reading you to determine what they need to do, just like we are reading our teammates to determine what we need to do. And we would probably be quite frustrated if we thought our teammate was leaving, so we're like, okay, cool, my ball to go for, and all of a sudden there were two players in the same spot. So just keep that in mind as you're moving about the field. What is my positioning and movement telling my teammates that they should do next? We have one more sequence that we're going to run through here to wrap all these ideas up. So as we roll this forward here, what we're going to see first is that Risiko is going to be rotating himself back this way, which in our mind, if our teammate's coming behind us, that means, okay, cool, we go for the ball right away. So that is exactly what we do here. Risiko telling us he's coming back. So okay, we'll go for the ball. We tap it on forward. Now here's another important situation. We have landed on the wall. We're kind of slow. Risiko, facing forward in the midfield, is going to speed up very quickly, showcasing to us that he is the one going for this ball next, so we should just position ourselves in kind of a supportive position so we can play what happens with his next challenge. And as we'll see here, he starts to boost on forward, so okay, we're not going to worry about it. Risiko's going for this ball. We'll let him go. He gets this challenge here. Now here's something really important, because in this precise moment, the ball is just pinched over to the side. We don't see our second teammate, so we could just choose to charge for this ball right away, full speed, sending ourselves for a challenge along this wall. But we don't know what our teammate is planning on doing. So what we're going to do here instead is we're going to take a quick second to take off ball cam, and as we look over to our right hand side, we see Preston also full boost in this direction. So that tells us, okay, teammate is going for this ball, so we will again just kind of chill patiently in the midfield, wait to see what comes from his challenge, and we'll go from there. So Preston now coming forward, and now as Preston comes forward, we need to keep an eye on what Risiko is doing here. Because Risiko is now showcasing that he is going this way, and even more so, he is going to use his flip. So he has full committed to going in the direction to the left over to the opponent's corner. So we'll need to remember that if this challenge goes south as to where we need to be to make sure we stay safe on defense as well. So Risiko is going to go ahead and flip over to the left-hand side there. Preston's going to go up for this challenge and get blocked out pretty heavily. So now, this is the moment where our teammates are and the situation they're in determines what we need to do. Preston floating out of the play. Gonna take forever to get back down and get back. Risiko has just flipped over towards the corner, so we know he's rotating wide. Will also take a while for him to get back. So with that in mind, this ball is gonna float downfield. We need to buy time for our team. We can see Lepin, who's just made this challenge, is not exactly in the best position to recover quickly, and this ball is going to be working its way towards us. So we're going to utilize that time to take our time with the ball and buy time for our team to get back. Just let it roll, not a problem, we're good. We can see, looking on the left side of the field, that we don't see Risiko anywhere over here, which means he's either in our back corner or he's rotated into net already. So now we just need to buy a little bit of time to make sure the defense is fully set before anything dangerous comes on net. We're going to go ahead and just chip the ball around the first man, try to get up to challenge the second. Can't quite get there, but we've bought enough time. Now Risiko is back in net, and it's a free save over to the corner. So utilizing what we saw our teammates doing told us exactly where we needed to be and what we needed to do with the ball to prevent anything bad from happening. And the situation it's given us here is this challenge over in our own corner that's going to pop the ball into the midfield and allow us to turn for this ball as we see our teammates are not in a position to quickly follow up. So we can turn for this ball and immediately slot it on net, and it's a free goal for us. So that entire sequence, from reading who was challenging the ball to what we needed to do with the ball to buy time for our team to be successful, eventually led to us being able to tie up this game. That should showcase to you the importance of communication. Everywhere your car moves, everything your car does, serves as your ability to communicate to your teammates what you're doing and what they need to do, and vice versa. Your teammates' cars communicate to you what they're doing and what you need to do. And the faster you can make reads on what's going on, the smoother the entire game will be. Just remember, it is all about understanding the position of the car, where the car is facing, the speed the car is going, and the state the car is in. Is it flipping in a certain direction? Is it driving on all four wheels? Is it boosting? All these things will tell you what your teammates' intentions are and what you can do with that information. Of course, if you guys do enjoy videos like this, make sure you click that subscribe button right down below this video so you make sure you don't miss any future Rocket League tip or coaching content. Additionally, if you'd like to be more involved in this community, please consider joining my Discord, linked down in the description below. So thank you everybody so much for watching, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys. And if you're looking for some more Rocket League entertainment, might I recommend checking out this playlist right here for some more keys to Rocket League just like this. Or check out this video over here to see what happens when you hold a reverse 1v1 tournament in Rocket League.